It might seem crazy, but today you are going to understand why they hate that I teach this to you here for free in my videos. What profit does a florist or a garden center make if you learn how to make your fruit trees produce in pots, at home without buying expensive fertilizer? If you have a fruit tree at your house, whether it's in a pot or in the ground, and it's not producing fruits like this, look, this one, for example, is a guava tree that is in a planting bag. But look at the amount of fruits being formed on this guava tree. There are fruits forming on all the branches, even though it's in a small container. Often, with a plant in the ground that has a lot of space and potential to grow, you can't get it to produce like this. But today, you are going to learn exactly the secret that the gardens don't want me to tell you. And what's even cooler and more beautiful is that it works for every type of plant. Look at this lemon tree. This is the Tahiti lemon that we have planted in a pot as well. Look at the tiny size of it, already loaded with flowers. You are going to understand everything now about what you should do so yours stays this way too. And without stalling, let's get to the recipe for this powerful fertilizer to make any plant produce flowers and fruits early and with quality fruits. You will need a container there. It doesn't need to be big, it can be small. And the first ingredient of this recipe is very simple. You already have it in your house, and you will use 1 to 2 spoons, okay? I'm going to put it here. Look, 1 spoon, up to a spoon, and a half I'm going to use here. It's already enough. It's 1 to 2 spoons at most, and you need to follow the measurements exactly as I'm passing them to you here, so it doesn't go wrong. Even if you don't understand, do it exactly the way I'm showing you. In the end, you will understand everything, and it will all make sense to you. This can be any rice you have in your house, as long as it is raw, not cooked, not salted. It needs to be like this. Look, exactly how it comes in the package. It can be white rice, it can be parboiled, any kind, but what you are going to put in is raw. The second ingredient of this recipe is eggshells. Now, how are you going to use this eggshell? You can put it here in this container. You are going to use dry eggshells without any residue. You are going to let them rest in the sun before using them in your recipe, because all that egg residue has to come out, okay? Dry eggshells. And the amount you will use of this shell here is approximately 3 to 4 eggshells. I know it seems very simple, right? But that's just how it is, team. This recipe is simple but extremely powerful for you to have the results we have here with our plants in the nursery. So I'm going to put these 2 ingredients now, which are the eggshell and the raw rice, directly into my blender. It can be a mixer or a blender. What is important is that we need to grind these ingredients, because if you put this in the soil in large pieces, the plant doesn't have the capacity to absorb the nutrients that are here. Eggshells are rich in calcium, and rice is rich in phosphorus and potassium. However, you cannot release this to the plant's roots if it's not in very small residues. The famous eggshell flour, the famous rice flour. There are garden centers that sell this, but you can make it at home just like this. And we are going to grind this. But just these ingredients are not enough, okay? Don't go thinking it's just eggshells and rice that go into this fertilizer. No. We are just preparing the ingredients here. Do you want to have a real result on your plant? I strongly suggest that you see the whole step-by-step of what we are showing here. Now we are going to grind these 2 ingredients and then add the next ones. This should be ground for approximately 2 minutes. All of this will turn into a flour, a powder. Instead of you buying eggshell flour at the gardens, you will make your own. And we are going to start grinding here. Now, I've turned it off. I'm going to show you what the point is that we want this flour to be at, okay? I'll take it out here so you can see with your own eyes and know the point you're going to let this flour stay at when you make it at home. Look at the point. This dust will come off the top, but that's the flour we want. Now, when it gets to this point, don't take it out of here yet, because we are going to add the other ingredient that we are going to use in our recipe now, which is one of the main ones. The third ingredient is this dark powder here. This powder can be another color too, okay? It can be light brown, no problem. It can be any kind. Then we are going to put 1 spoon here for this amount of fertilizer we put in, which was approximately 4 eggshells and 1.5 spoons of rice. We ground it. It turned into this powder. We are going to add this black powder now. Do you know what this is? Before I reveal the name, I know you love to find out what I use here, but comment there what you think this dark powder is that we are going to put in the recipe. Comment down below. I'll reveal it to you soon, and I want to see if you got it right or not. But it's no use commenting later. You have to comment now what you think this is. We are going to put 1 small spoon of this product now, which is a fertilizer rich in phosphorus, potassium, and organic matter. It is one of the main ingredients to stimulate flowering and to make the fruit that grows on your plant come out sweet. Now we are going to close our blender again and beat it a little more to mix all of this that we have here. But there is one more ingredient at the end that we are going to put in as well, but that one will be separate. I'll explain it to you correctly. Calm down. You will understand everything, okay? Let's beat it a little bit here. You don't need to beat it much here. Now we just need to mix it, because this black residue we put here is already a powder, right? It already comes as a powder, so we just mixed it here. And now I'm going to take out this fertilizer that we already prepared. Just here, people, there is already a very powerful fertilizer. But we are going to improve this even more. And there is the secret of the application that makes all the difference, right? I'm going to put this powder in this container here so it's easy for you to see how it looks. This yields a lot. Even though it seems like a little, we use very little on the plant, because it is concentrated. Let's take it all out. And this is how it will look. Look, after being well ground, the plant absorbs this with great ease. We already have a large part of the recipe ready here, and we are also going to put in the third ingredient, which is what actually gives life to this whole mixture, making all of this be released quickly and continuously into the soil of our plant, so the roots can absorb calcium, potassium, phosphorus, manganese, nitrogen, all the macro and micronutrients that your plant needs to stay healthy, strong, and vigorous, bringing new fruits. And this one, many people already know, and it can be 2 ingredients. This one, okay? There are 2 things that work here. I am using bokashi, which is one of the main organic fertilizers used in gardening. I use this brand here, but it can be any one. I'll leave the one I use below in case you want to use the same one, but I use this brand. You can use any brand of bokashi. In case you don't have bokashi there at your house and you have worm humus, that also works very well. You can use worm humus along with this mixture here to make everything very complete, but not just complete with nutrients, also improving the biology of the soil, thus making your soil have more life to transform ingredients into nutrients. And the amount of bokashi I'm going to use here is reduced. I'm going to put just 1 spoon here for this amount of fertilizer we are making. I'm going to mix it well, an important detail. The finer this flour is, the better and faster it will be absorbed by the plant as a nutrient. While I'm mixing this mixture here, I want to know something very important from you. Comment down below where you are while you're watching us, your city, your state, because we love to know how far our content is reaching, where our tips are going, and there are a lot of people watching us from other countries. That's right. There are many people from Brazil who are far away, and many people who are even further watching us from other countries. So, comment down below for me to know how far our content is reaching, and check if you are already subscribed here to the channel, okay? Our recipe is ready, and now comes the most important part, which is how you are going to use this correctly, the periods you will use it, and where you will place it on the plant. And now you need to pay close attention so you don't say later that we didn't teach it right or you applied it and it went wrong. Because if you do it the way I teach you here, there's no way it can go wrong. Come with me. I have a lychee in a pot here. It was recently planted. It's still in a small container. It's going to move to a larger container. And here I have a capacity of approximately 15 to 20 liters of substrate in this pot. And what is the amount I'm going to use in a still small pot? I'm going to come here, look, at the base of the plant. I'll take a little stick here on the ground and make a small hole here, look, on the edge of the pot, further away from the roots, okay? Because the roots will come to absorb the fertilizer that is here. I'll make just one hole here. It doesn't need much. Now I'm going to take my fertilizer. I'm going to put just 1 spoon of the fertilizer, and this is the amount I'm going to use on this plant that is in a pot of approximately 15-20 liters. And here we put our fertilizer. Let's bury it here. You don't need to bury it deep down, okay? We are just going to cover it here to already start the release into the soil of my plant. After I put this fertilizer in my plant's pot, then what am I going to do? And now I'm going to do the basics of all fertilization, which is basically doing a light watering. People, this is not a watering to actually provide hydration for the plant. No. It's a light watering, just to moisten the substrate and already start the release of nutrients to the plant. Notice that I need nutrients even to do this rooting here, which has already started to happen, the air layering rooting. A plant that is already made from air layering will produce early, but I'm giving it nutrition to strengthen the whole plant, produce fast, and also generate roots in abundance. What makes these roots generate well is precisely the phosphorus. But what if my plant is not in a 15-20 liter pot? It's in a pot with a 40-liter capacity. Then what I'm going to do, people, is different. I'm also going to make a hole here, look, on the side of the pot, further away from the roots. And I'm going to make another hole here, look, on the other side of the pot. So I have 2 holes here in a 40-liter container. And now, instead of putting just 1 spoon of fertilizer like I did in the other pot, I'm going to put one on this side here, look, in this corner. I'll cover it, and I'm trying with one hand here, but I think it will work. I'm going to put another spoon of fertilizer now down here, look, in the bottom corner here of the pot. So, there will be fertilizer on both sides of the plant. Let me even take this off because this seedling is grafted. There will be fertilizer on this side. On this side, there will be a total of 2 spoons for 40 liters of substrate. And you have no idea how fragrant these Tahiti lemon blossoms are. It's a very pleasant smell. And then you fertilized, you already know, right? Come with the watering, give it a light moistening here in the substrate to already start the release of nutrients from this fertilizer you put in. But how often do you apply this fertilization to your plants? I'm going to tell you now, but first I'm curious to know who guessed what this black powder is. Look, this black powder here is a powder we used in our mixture, mixed together with the eggshell and the rice. And now I'm going to reveal its name to you. You probably already have it there in your house, because every person who grows plants already knows this. And this powder here is nothing other than bone meal. People, this bone meal is extremely rich in phosphorus, in potassium, and it strengthens the entire root system of the plant, improves the health of the roots for nutrient absorption, besides producing blooms on your plant. And that's why it's so important in this fertilization, besides providing, of course, microorganisms and organic matter, because it is also a 100% organic fertilizer. And it is also in this mixture. In fact, I'm going to apply it here to my jabuticaba tree, and I'm going to tell you how often you apply this, because you can't use this every day. You can't use it every week. This is a fertilization that you will apply with a periodicity of 30 days. So, once a month, you apply this fertilization here, people. Here I have a pot with approximately 60 liters. Okay? That's why I'm going to use here, it's not just twice. I'm going to use 3 times, 3 spoons of this fertilizer here. So, I'm going to repeat this application here after 30 days. I applied it today, did the whole step-by-step correctly. In 30 days, I repeat it. And this jabuticaba that you are seeing me apply it to here is already in bloom again. It has already produced, in fact, look here, there's the skin of its fruits. It has already produced despite its young age. So, we are doing this fertilization for it to repeat its multiplication. If you have a large jabuticaba or a large fruit tree there that is planted in the ground, then you can use 5 to 6 spoons. Every month, you will see a very large production. It will also produce well-filled fruits. And another thing, tasty, you see? Very sweet, because of the potassium that transforms precisely into the sweetness of the fruit. Now, what nobody tells you is that it is extremely rich. It's true. It's very good. It has all the nutrients your plant needs to produce fast, but it doesn't replace the simplest care, like constant watering, which is what will keep your plant always hydrated. Especially, hydration cannot be lacking in the flowering and fruit formation phase, okay? Another very important thing, sun, light. Every fruit plant needs abundant light to always produce well. What you should never do is leave our videos without first sharing with another person. Send this content to those who have a farm, those who have a ranch, to those who truly like plants, and help that person because this content is free. There is one thing that is also very important. But first I need to thank you who are a member here of the channel and support our project. In fact, if you are watching this video now and it's free, consider supporting our project by clicking Become a Member. Come be part of this team. Because without this group that supports us, it would be impossible for us to produce this content and bring this knowledge for free to you. We would have to do like others in the market who charge to bring this professional content to you. So, if you want to support us, click on Become a Member down below. And more importantly than that, check if you are already subscribed, have already turned on the notification bell, so you don't miss the next content like this here on the channel. And you should by no means leave this content without first seeing this one that I'm leaving here on the side for you to watch. It has already helped thousands of people, and it will help you too. A kiss on your heart, and until this content here. If this secret changed the way you look at your fruit trees and garden, please subscribe and like the channel. We are revealing the hidden knowledge that they tried to keep from you. Grow your future with us. The next treasure of nature will be opened soon.